I'm guessing you're here because you're thinking, I don't want to feel like this, but I feel trapped. And sometimes we do get trapped in addiction because we feel a sense of distress and a sense of unmanageability, and then we go and use a drug which solves that distress and unmanageability, and then we feel a lot of the shame and the guilt and the anger, and then the cycle goes round and round and round. And the problem is that we've never been taught how to manage our emotions. So using drugs and our emotions seems like the best option. And that's what all our peer group does as well, so why not do it as well? But my name's Luke, and I specialise in teaching people affected by addiction healthier ways to manage their emotions. Now, over my many years in training and practice, I've developed 4 main pillars that I use to help clients break through the glass ceiling of their addictions. Now, the first pillar is psychoeducational information. It was Albert Einstein that said, you cannot solve a problem at the same level of consciousness that created it. So you need a sense of learning of information to train the computer, to download new software, to reprogram the brain. And the second piece is your thoughts, your cognitive thoughts that go on all day, every day. We have about 60,000 thoughts a day. So it's about becoming an observer of those thoughts and understanding we are not our thoughts, we just have thoughts. And once you have that level of detachment and observing of the thoughts, it becomes a lot easier to not act on them and be controlled by them, and that sense of identity that our thoughts bring. Now the next one is our subconscious emotions. What goes on underneath? What feeds a lot of those thoughts? What's happening down here that we don't know? Because it's not just about trimming the top of the weed, it's about getting down to the root and ripping it out. Now, once we've done that, you also need the 4th pillar, which is some tools to use in daily life, things you're going to be able to go and you're going to be able to get done and you're going to be able to act every single day. Now, this process has helped a lot of clients change not just the contents of their life, but the context, the way they see the world, their model of the world. And a lot of clients have come to me who have been having a lot of self-doubt, who have been having a lot of negative thinking, who have been wondering, I'm on the rehab yo-yo and I keep going into rehab, or I keep relapsing, or I can't make it. And the process helps a lot of clients break through those limiting beliefs and those barriers and get to sobriety. And I remember when I first started my journey and I was sitting on a park bench using drugs every single day, heavy in my addiction, calling through my phone book, trying to look for the next person to call to lend money or to borrow money from so I could go and use. And it was the last person in my phone book who I didn't want to call purposely because I knew this friend would tell me the truth, and he said to me, Luke, you're a crack addict. And I didn't actually smoke crack at that point, but it made me really shift out of the denial stage, and I thought, wait, I really am a drug addict. And my mum was a drug addict and I was heading towards death just like her. And if something didn't change, sooner or later I'd be dead because of my addiction. And at that point, I discovered I'd been running from my emotions my whole life. Because if we go back to the beginning of my life, I was born dead at 26 weeks and my mum did drugs most of the time she was pregnant with me. So I came out super early and it's a miracle that I'm here. And then from 0 to 10 years old, my mum was a drug addict and she had all that manageability and chaos and everything going on. And she unfortunately passed away when I was 10 due to her addiction. But she taught me the greatest lesson in life and gave me the strength that she never had to beat her addiction, and that allowed me to beat my addiction. And since then I decided on that park bench, if I wasn't going to die an addict like my mum, I was going to become my best self and grow and contribute to the world and make a difference. And that's when I started going to therapy. And I remember walking into my first therapy session, I really thought that I could die from bringing up all of that pain that was inside me. But I went to the first session and the second session, and I kept going back, and slowly the weeks turned into months. And now I've had over 70 counselling sessions or therapy sessions, and I keep going back all the time to keep growing and upgrading my level of consciousness and digging deep. And I've learned loads of new tactics and strategies and tools, and I've read over 100 books on personal development and addiction and psychology to upgrade my brain and to get that psychoeducational information. And I didn't stop there. I also started a podcast interviewing people around addiction, and then that led me to doing a 3-year degree on counselling and developing my training so I could actually provide real value to people just like you. Now, I'm not trying to impress you, I'm just trying to impress upon you that along my journey I may have learned some skills and tips and techniques to be able to help you break through some of those limiting beliefs and get to where you want to be, to become happy and fulfilled and not dependent on drugs, to learn those new ways to manage your emotions. So I want to offer you the opportunity to reach out and book a phone consultation. Somewhere below or to the left on this page is going to be a calendar where you can book a 30-minute consultation with me, and we can go through some of the stuff that's going on for you and some next steps and get a path to sobriety and recovery and happiness and fulfillment for you, so you can make that change and you can get that progress and you can become sober, happy and healthy just like me. Now, that's not all I want to give you. I want to give you the ability to be able to make change right now. So when you book your consultation, I'm going to send you an ebook of 7 healthy habits you can start today, right now. These are habits that I've developed over my recovery and things I've learned that will really help you stay on track and to start making those positive changes. And the second piece of free gift content I'm going to give you is a podcast I recorded with world-renowned Peter Sage. Now, this podcast is amazing. It'll teach you about the 6 human needs and how to rearrange your needs so you never have to use drugs again, because you'll understand why you use them in the first place. And if you turn up to the first session you book with me with those 2 things, with that mindset of being ready to go, having that shift of awareness, we'll be able to make really good progress and break through all of your limiting beliefs. So I really hope to see you on the phone soon and talk to you soon. Thanks very much and have a lovely day. Cheers.